All right, we are live on YouTube, and I just need for the video to connect on my other monitor so I can grab that link and put it in our free business mastermind group so that our members can join us conveniently and easily over here on this YouTube. All right, I think the link is okay. There it is. Let me grab that. Okay, now let me put it in our group. All right, that is cycling through and posting. Come on, boo. Okay, great. Cool beans. All right, let me go over here and make sure I can see the live chat. All right, and I can. So we can officially get started. Welcome to the Her First Six Figures Morning Show, which is an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group to position Black and Brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. This week's blog is at, let's see, shaycannon.com/offer KPIs. That is shaycannon.com/offer KPIs, because what we've been talking about all week and what we are closing out today is operational KPIs to optimize your offer for six-figure growth. Okay. Now, I talk about KPIs before, but these KPIs are all around and related to your main offer. Okay. Because we can't make enough money with our offer if the offer isn't, first of all, efficient, and second of all, monitored against key performance indicators. Okay. So that's what we've been talking about this week. Good morning, Chantilly, over there on the YouTube side. The first thing we talked about on Monday was part one. And we talked about basically systematizing your client touch points. For every touch point that you have having to do with your offer and you servicing the client, there needs to be a standard operating procedure or SOP for every step of that touch point of dealing with that client, of servicing that client. That's going to make you more efficient. Okay. I gave you 10 ways to figure out what touch points you should be creating SOPs around in a general way. So you want to go back to that. That's part one. That was from Monday. Okay. Part two on Tuesday was all about the time it takes you to fulfill your service. Okay. Because the time it takes you to fulfill your service dictates how many clients you can take at a time. Most of you are solopreneurs. You only work so many hours and you only have so much time to dedicate to each client. So, as efficient as you can be with knowing what that timeline is, the better off you could be. And so, to reduce your fulfillment time, I gave you 10 strategies on Tuesday. Go back to that replay of part two to get all of that. Okay. Yesterday was part three. We talked about know your offers fulfillment costs. Okay. Unfortunately for us service-based business have so many hidden costs or costs that we do not consider when it comes down to our pricing. So product-based businesses are a little more straightforward. They know exactly what the product costs, what it costs to package it, all that stuff. They kind of have upfront costs that they now know how to add a profit margin to. However, us service-based businesses, a lot of what we do is coming from our genius and it seems intangible. So we don't tend to charge for every little thing that is our actual labor. Also, because we are service-based and online service-based, there are a lot of fees that we are paying that should be passed on to the client. So if you want to know about these fulfillment costs that you should be considering to make sure that your pricing is right, go to yesterday's, which is part three, and I gave you 10 ways for costs that you need to be checking into. All right. Now, today we're going to end this series. And everything that we've talked about thus far has gotten us ready for today. Okay. Because today what we're going to talk about is tracking your capacity so that you know what it is, so that we can grow the capacity and then therefore grow our revenue. Okay. So let's get into the blog. Track capacity to grow revenue. Capacity utilization measures how many clients or projects you're actively serving compared to how many you could serve with your current systems and support. Okay. So most online service-based solopreneurs are either maxed out or calling it normal, leaving money on the table without realizing it. Okay. These KPIs tell you the truth. You may be juggling 5 clients and constantly overwhelmed, yet with even basic systems in place, you probably could comfortably handle 8 instead of that 5 and then hit your revenue goals without burnout. Now, on the flip side, you may have the space for 10 clients, but only be serving 3 because your back end isn't structured to handle more than the 3. So without measuring these things, without having these knowledge, you don't know if it's time to raise your prices, streamline your workflow, or add in more support, as in more team or more tech. You just around here guessing while the needle refuses to move on your revenue goals. Okay. Now that's the blog. You know, here in the morning show, I give you more. And today I'm going to give you more than 10 strategies. First, I want to start off with a calculation. Okay, so you might want to get your pen and paper out because I want to give you a general calculation for how to determine what your capacity is. Because again, you need to determine and know your capacity to even know if you're at full capacity so that you can service your clients excellently. But I'm gonna give you something else to consider because it's not just how many clients can you take until you pass out. That's not what we're trying to do. But I'm going to give you a calculation because we have to know our capacity to know if we're making all the money we could make and to know what capacity we can be pushing to go beyond so that we can make more money. All right. Now, the first thing I want you to consider, step 1. So these are the steps to calculate monthly capacity so that you can forecast your revenue and know where you are with your revenue goals. Okay. So step 1 is going to be calculate the total available work hours per month. Okay. What are your available work hours per month? Now, this is where you get to control what burnout looks like. Yeah, because if you're like me, I don't necessarily want to work 40 hours a week. I no longer have a job and I'm not creating a personal job for myself. So I get to dictate how many hours a week I work on client stuff. Yeah, because what I also need you to understand is working on client stuff is working in the business. You still got to work on the business. That's all your back end stuff. That's your marketing. That's your set. So you still got to have time for that. So how much time do you want to work on client stuff? You got to determine that. So for our example, we're going to say 30 hours a week on client stuff. Okay. And this is just for somebody who wants to work a 40-hour week. That ain't me, but we're going to go with 40 hours. Some of y'all working way more than that. Okay. So 40 hours a week means that gives us 120 hours a month to work on client stuff for our capacity. Okay. So we want to start with how many hours you realistically want to work per week, not survival mode, but sustainable CEO mode. So you start with that number. Okay. Now, step 2, estimate the average hours required per client. Okay. Per month. All right. So how long does it take you to complete your service? And how many of those clients can you fit in a month? So include everything related to servicing a client: the delivery phase, the prep phase, the meetings, the follow-ups, the admin tasks, anything you have to do. And if you're a solopreneur, that means you probably doing all of it. Even if you have a small team, are they even involved in servicing the client? So that might still be you doing all of it. All right. So use real-time data wherever possible for where you are tracking your time. You know, Keith and I have been talking about Toggle all week, but however you track your time, try to use real-life data and how long it takes you to get a client through the service so that we can apply that real-life data to understand what our capacity is. For our example, we want to work 30 hours a week, okay, which is 120 hours a month. But we're going to estimate for our example that it takes us 10 hours a month to complete a client through the entire service, rooted to the tutor. Okay, cool. Step 3, divide the total monthly hours by hours per client. Okay, so we're going to divide that 120 hours a month that we're going to work in a month by the 10 hours a month it takes us to complete a client. Okay. So in our example, that means we can do 12 clients per month max. All right. So divide total monthly hours by hours per client. This gives you your true maximum client capacity based on the hours you want to work and how long it takes you to get a client all the way through your service. So that was step 3. Step 4, multiply capacity by current offer price. Okay. Take your max monthly client load and multiply that by the price of your main offer, because all of this is only about your main offer. Do you have other offers in your business? Of course you do, but we're not talking about those at this time. Okay, cool. So for our examples, we know that we can take 12 clients max per month. Let's just say the offer is $1,000. Our main offer is $1,000. Then that means we should be able to make $12,000 per month as projected revenue before expenses. So this is revenue, not profit. Okay, $12,000 a month. If we got $1,000 offer, we have the capacity to serve 12 clients. We have the potential to make $12,000 a month. That's step 4. Let's go to step 5. Compare to actual clients and revenue. Okay, compare to actual clients and revenue. So we're gonna if you only have 5 clients currently, you're leaving income on the table because you got room for more. Okay, but if you're serving 14 clients, then you've exceeded your capacity and you're probably not serving them in excellence, and you're probably at burnout. Okay, so what we're comparing when it says actual clients and revenue, we're comparing where you are right now to the what we just came up with was your capacity. So if we came up with that you could take 12 clients, how many clients do you have right now? Are you over capacity or under capacity? Okay. Now, step 6, this is our last step. Make data-driven adjustments. All right. So you might need to, if you can only take so many clients and those number of clients times the amount of your offer does not equal your revenue goals, you might need to raise your prices. Because if you maxed out and you still can't hit your revenue goals, then you have to raise your prices. Okay. Or if you don't want to be maxed out and still want to reach your goal, you might need to raise your prices so you don't even have to be at full capacity to make your revenue goal. All right. You might want to streamline your delivery services and reduce fulfillment time so that allows you to increase the capacity. So again, the work we've done all week got us ready for this. Now you know how to reduce your fulfillment time. And so that might increase the maximum amount of clients that you can take in a month, and therefore increase the amount of money that you can possibly make as a forecast in a month. All right. The last thing is you want to adjust your offer structure to match your desired workload and your pricing goals. Okay, I'm going to go back through those steps. And these are the steps to calculate your monthly capacity and forecast the revenue based on your revenue goals. Okay, step 1 was calculate the total amount of work hours that you want to work per month. Step 2, estimate the average hours required of you to get one client through the entire service in a month. Step 3, divide total monthly hours by the hours per client so we can come up with how many clients max or your capacity. Step 4, multiply the capacity by your current offer price, and we know what revenue we could forecast to have. All right. Step 5, compare the actual number of clients and the actual revenue that you're making per month to the numbers that we have come up with as your capacity and as your potential forecasted revenue. Are you above? Are you below? Okay. Do you have more room to make more money, or are you already overworked? And then number 6 is make data-driven adjustments. If you are overworked, we need to find ways to reduce the fulfillment time. We need to look at the structure and make it more efficient, all the things so that we can take pressure off of ourselves. Maybe you need to adjust this pricing. Maybe you need to come down off the number of people that you are servicing. Maybe you need to add more people that you're servicing. You're going to make a data-driven adjustment. Okay, so those were the 6 steps. But that's not all I have for you today. Okay. Our question for today is going to be, what would you like your capacity to be to meet your revenue goals? And is your pricing aligned with your capacity and revenue goals? So I just gave you 6 steps to determine whether you're aligned or not aligned. So it shouldn't be hard for you to do it. Good morning. Kimberly jumped off of in studio and went over here to YouTube. And good morning, Dr. Latoya is over here on YouTube. Okay, so that's going to be the question of the day. But before we get to that, because you might have to do a few little calculations, we got 3 doctors in the studio today. We got Dr. LaFera, Dr. Ayana, and Dr. Tachi. I'm going to start with Dr. LaFera, but I'm going to give you time to kind of see if you have the answer to that question. And meanwhile, I got more value for you, okay? So I do have 10 strategies for you to be more impactful with optimizing your capacity. So some more things to consider, some more things to think about to make sure that we're at optimal capacity. And optimal capacity doesn't mean our overworked number. It means how we want to work, how many hours we want to work, how many clients we want to take, how much money we want to make, and how to align all of that in an optimal way. All right. So number 1 consideration, you need to consider your energy and your time capacity. Okay, because just because you got that amount of time in a day don't mean you got that much energy in a day. That's what I'm being faced with right now. We were talking about that in the pre-show conversation, how me being here in Vietnam with the different time zones, it's not even the time zones that's messing me up. It's my body that's messing me up. My body has gone from night owl to day bird or day worm. I don't know what the day version of night owl is. I don't know. But anyway, it's changing. So I was a day person, and now it's flipped to I was a night owl, which was great because night owl meant that I was up during the Eastern time business hours, getting work done. That was fine. But right now, I'm more of a day person for where I am, which means, baby, that's nighttime where y'all are. And so I still have to be up for the morning show and meetings. And so now I'm up from your nighttime to halfway through the day, noon, you guys is noontime, and that's not really working for my body. So what is your energy like versus the time capacity? Because you have the hours, but do you have the focus? Certain client service and deliverables drain more mental and emotional energy than others. So you need to calculate their energetic load and not just your available time. Okay. Number 2 strategy, offer design efficiency. Again, go look at the steps that you take in the offer, in service in the offer. Are you doing too much? And is that contributing to the overload? Could you make the phases and the steps more concise, more efficient so that you're doing less? Is it time to get some support so that you as one person aren't doing all of the pieces? So look at the offer design efficiency. Is your offer designed to scale, or is it too custom heavy? Offers that require excessive personalization or pivoting per client crush your capacity. Simplicity, making it simple, your offer that protects your output a little more. It makes it more scalable. Strategy number 3, boundary enforcement systems. Okay. Stop allowing people to take you past what you were supposed to do, what you calculated that you were going to do. Stop letting them eat into your money. Stop letting them eat into your capacity time. That should be time that you should be with a whole new customer making whole new money. Okay. So set your boundaries. So it's not just having boundaries, it's whether your systems enforce them. Do clients book within office hours? Is there a clear end to your access to you? If not, your capacity leaks through your client's overreach. All right. Number 4, client readiness filtering. Okay. We got to stop taking money from people who are not ready for our service. It's stressful. Okay. And then it puts on us a weight of having to get them ready within the same amount of hours that we would service them for the same amount of money. And that's a no. Okay. So are you working with clients who are actually ready for your offer? If you're spending extra time, filling in their knowledge gaps or dragging them through implementation and all of that, you're wasting premium capacity on underqualified clients. So we got to stop taking those kind of clients. Okay. Tell them what to do to get ready and tell them to come back when they're ready. Okay. Number 5, offer to support ratio. We kind of touched on it, but how much unpaid support does your offer require? If your clients need hand holding between sessions, if they need heavier communication support or constant clarification of stuff, then your offer is outpacing the support you're able to give. This either you cut that out, you don't take clients that need all of that, or maybe it's time to add in an admin slash customer support person to absorb that. So let me tell you my rule of thumb for adding people, though, because I don't think that people understand. When you add people onto your team and they're taking weight from you, you're supposed to be replacing the weight that went from you with something else that is going to be revenue generating that only you can do. Okay. So that when you're hiring this person and they become an expense, you are freed up to make the money to pay for that expense. Never forget that. All right. Number 6, conversion cycle alignment. Let me tell you what that is. Your capacity isn't just about delivery, it's about timing. Are you booking clients in a way that staggers start dates? Okay, distributes the workload, or are you onboarding 5 people at a time in 1 week and drowning by Friday? Okay, because when you know your capacity and you get new clients coming in, then you know you can tell them, hey, let me get a deposit from you to hold your space and we'll get started with you next month. But if you don't pay your deposit, it doesn't hold your space, and I don't know when we would get started with you when you pay your deposit. Do y'all catch that? When you know your capacity, you can still take people's money, but you can give them a realistic start date that does not overwhelm you. But the money is still coming in. But it got to start with you knowing your capacity. Okay? That's one thing that I do. Right now, I know I have a client on the way out. I could accept a new client and tell them that they can start in June because I'm ending with that client in May. Right? So when you know your capacity and you know how many people you can take, and if you're at full capacity, but you know somebody is about to drop off, now you can say, okay, we can get started with your deposit. I can hold a slot for you, and this will be your approximate start date. And that don't have to be today, and that don't have to be this week. Okay, that's an important thing for y'all to understand. Okay, number 7, tech workflow optimization. Are your systems talking to each other? Okay, this is where when I show y'all those steps to the client journey, and I tell y'all there are steps, there are parts of each step, but there are also parts that connect each step to each other. We want stuff that connect, and the less we have to do it manually, the better. The more we can reclaim our time. Okay, so disconnected tech, like a calendar here and contacts over here and Zoom over there, creates friction. And that friction kills time, and killing time kills your capacity. Okay, so try to work with integrated tools so that you can reclaim that time. All right, number 8, life cycle management. What that is are your clients staying too long? Okay, because they're in a slot of your capacity. How long are they in that slot? Because we know how long it takes to service them. Are they staying in that slot too long? So when you are looking at your capacity and you're looking at your volume, are you keeping clients past the transformation point? Are you keeping them past the transformation point? If so, you're keeping them too long. So build in your offboarding points and the next step pathways and all of that to protect your bandwidth. I have people that always want to stay connected to me past their time. Well, either you're going to get into another offer that was designed for that, or you got to let go. Okay. So keep that life cycle management in mind. This is where our offer ladder comes in. If they're in the middle of the offer ladder and there's another step, great. Let's get them into the next step. Don't let them stay where they are. Okay. If they're at the top of your offer ladder and you need to get them somewhere else to somebody else, hey, this is where strategic partnerships come in. Get a commission for getting them passed on to somebody else to service them at that point. All right. Number 9, emergency buffering. Okay. Are you leaving margin for unexpected failures, like tech failures or illness or client crisis, where you got to spend more time than you thought with this client, which is eating into the time of that client? Are you setting things up where you have a buffer? Okay, because true capacity isn't about taking up every second of that time. It's about adding in buffer time in there so that you have room for life to happen. Because what y'all know is life gonna life. Life is always lifing. Okay, so for example, this is just an example of some stuff that I do. If I know it'll take me an hour to do, I'm gonna tell you it's gonna take me a day. If I know it's going to take me a day, I'm probably going to tell you it's going to take me 3 days. If I know it's going to take me 3 days, I'm going to tell you it's going to take me a week. If I know it's going to take me a week, I'm going to tell you it's going to take me 2 weeks. If it's going to take me 2 weeks, I'm going to tell you it's going to take me a month. What I would rather do is under promise and over deliver and give lifetime to life. And I can still show up in excellence based on the buffer that I put in there. Okay. So that's the best example I can give you of emergency buffering. Last but not least, the last strategy for making sure that you're optimizing your capacity is revenue per hour awareness. Okay. If your most time consuming offer brings in less revenue per hour than your quickest offer, your capacity is jacked up. Okay. Either you need to let go that thing that's taking most of your time and not even paying you well, or you need to up the price on it. Okay. So you got to be looking at these things. This is what KPIs or key performance indicators are for. You got to monitor this stuff. You got to know what the data is telling you so that we can adjust in our favor. Okay, we can't just wait to the end of the year to do this stuff, because by the end of the year, it's too late. You've already not met your revenue goal, and you would have had several opportunities to do so had you been keeping up with KPIs, reviewing them, and making data-driven decisions. All right, I'm gonna go back through your strategies to be optimal. And the question is, what would you like your capacity to be to meet your revenue goals? And is your pricing aligned with your current capacity and revenue goals? And we're going to start with Dr. LaFera. But let me go through these 10 strategies real quick. Number one, look at your energy versus your time capacity. Number two, is your offer, the design of your offer, efficient? Number three, boundary enforcement systems. You need to have them in place. Number four, client readiness. Only work with clients that are ready. Postpone those clients that are not until they are ready. Number five, offer to support ratio. You can't do everything all the time. Is it time to hire somebody? Is it time to get that more expensive tech? What is it time to do as a support so that you're not the one doing everything? And when you free that time up, fill that time with money-making activities. Number six, conversion cycle alignment. Again, it's about timing. You can accept a deposit and get somebody started on a delayed time as long as they have paid to, what is the word? To reserve that space, right? Go ahead and take money as a deposit and then tell them when you will start the service, okay? Number seven is tech workflow optimization. Is your tech talking to each other? Is it integrated? Or are you having to do something manual in between all this tech to connect it up? Number eight, life cycle management. Do not allow people to stay too long past the time of that transformation. They're in the spot that you could be making money with somebody else. Move them along, either up your offer ladder or out of your offer ladder. Number nine, add some emergency buffering into this delivery time, okay? Number 10, revenue per hour awareness. Your most consuming things, are they making the most money? Can we make that more efficient at the price that it is, or can we raise that price, or should we just get rid of it? All right, now let's go to Dr. LaFera. I gave y'all a whole lot. I feel like I need water or something, but this was important because today was what I was thinking about when I thought about sharing this information with y'all as a blog. But I knew I had to get you ready for the information of today. So all week has been getting you ready for the culmination of today, which I feel like is the most valuable in looking at capacity versus revenue. So let's go to Dr. LaFera. The question is, what would you like your capacity to be to meet your revenue goals? And is your pricing aligned for that to happen?
I guess I would like for my capacity to be enough to take Right now, maybe 20 people a month. No, my
Mhm.
setup is not a lie to do that. So, uh, but I've been thinking about that. Just like right now, I'm doing like with the way I'm gonna do it. When I start getting people, is I'm meeting with them, like, for a low ticket offer, kind of. But I need that data, and so,
Well, let me ask you a question.
uh-huh,
So when you say your goal for capacity is 20 people, right?
uh-huh.
Um, I guess my question is that number of 20 people based on what the current pricing is to meet your revenue goals?
Yeah, kind of. It
Okay.
is. And that's a very low goal. Um, because I need the data though, because like then I'm gonna make that into like a course, which is you'll get some of me, but much less of me,
Yeah,
and so I need that so that I can scale it like that. Because I
understood.
have gotten all these other people results with pretty much the same thing, except you don't need me there like talking to you all the time, like every week.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, another
um,
thing that you can consider, Dr. LaFera, is maybe we can lower the number of people, raise the price, but see what can we add to the service to make it more valuable that does not need our time. Does that make sense?
it does, but the people that have been raising their hands so far are
Hmm.
people who the low ticket price is like gonna push, and so, but I know they have like the issues that I'm solving, and so, now are they in the, well, you can't count people's money, so are they in the financial, I guess, income space where I want? Yeah.
Hmm.
But so I'm willing to drop the price, keep the price that, so that
Hmm.
when I do pull back, the price is still that, and then I could take more people. I'm just gonna build up like the front end of getting more people in, so that I can get way more than 20 people. Yes, do it.
No problem. All right. And we hear little twin back there in the background. Hey, okay, let's go to Dr. Ayana. Dr. Ayana, the question is, what would you like your capacity to be to meet your revenue goals? And is your current pricing aligned with that?
Yes, Jesus. Good morning, America. Here we are. Father, you know I'm not ready for today, Lord. Anyway, let's go and wing this. I selected, and I'm gonna answer your question, number 6 and number 7.
Okay.
I would like for my capacity to be 5. And I convert number 6 is conversion cycle alignment. I want to make sure that once I get to my capacity, and I'm thinking about my actual avatar, okay? The pricing is structured so that, that number would help me to meet my goal with my actual avatar. So when I get to that point, that's my minimum point. I want to be able to, like you say, efficiently stagger start dates. I think that's going to be very important, and it will allow me to incorporate some emergency buffering efficiently. But then I do need to ensure that I have this tech thing uh, uh, under control. Number 7, tech workflow optimization,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that, once I get there again, my systems are in place and things are flowing properly and
Hmm.
accurately. So that's where I am.
Understood. Understood. All right. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what would you like your capacity to be to meet your revenue goals? And is your pricing aligned with the capacity and revenue goals that you currently have?
So I still have to go through exactly what I'm going to do to determine that, but I would think on the surface right now, I would like about mm, okay, as it is right now, as I am right now, I would like about 15 to 20 per session slash challenge, whatever it is that I'm going to do with that. But
Mhm.
as we grow and I'm able to have people that can assist with that, then that
Yeah.
capacity can increase. So for right
Mhm.
now, I would say 15 to 20 that I can handle basically on my own, but then more as it grows.
I like that. I like that. I like that you're putting a lot of brain power into it so that you can we're going to say to the best of your ability kind of erase some of this the issues that's going to happen with you just starting. So I like that. But you also now are equipped that when things aren't feeling right, when things start dropping through the the gaps, that you know what you need to do to go back and try to fix that kind of stuff with the flow of clients versus capacity versus pricing versus revenue goals. So I like that. Dr. Ayana says she wasn't ready for this topic. Yeah, but this is some of the stuff we got to look at though, because these are the things that get us caught up and we out here tired, wonder where our abundance at, but we overworked, right? So these are some of the things that help to alleviate that. And it's almost like when it's happening, we kind of think something like this needs to happen. We just don't have a grasp on what the exact strategies are. But yeah, that's why I thought it was very important to talk about this week. Over on the YouTube side, we got Kimberly. She said, I'm currently reevaluating my pricing and reviewing my COGS, which is cost of goods. She's a product based business, to see where I have room. This will allow me to understand completely how to get to my revenue goals. Most definitely. Most definitely. Um, because at the end of the day, you need, so for you, Kimberly, it's less about the number of people to service and it's more about the number of products you need to sell in a month. So how that might look is pricing, but also for you, it's going to be marketing to move it. Because see, it's not going to be your efforts of servicing that move people along so that you can get more people in. It's going to be the marketing that get people to continuously to buy for you as a product-based business. So keep that in mind. A part of your stuff is going to have to be, you're going to have to do the type of marketing that actually moves the product out. And so how much time do you have to actually do that marketing as a solopreneur? Because you know that it's getting to be summer months, so you usually do vending and setting up shop and pop-up shops and stuff like that. Well, if you know that works, how much time do you have to commit to pop-up shops? So I hope you're getting what I'm saying. It's going to be your time in marketing and selling that moves your product and not you actually servicing, Kim. Dr. Latoya said, I use the evaluation of energy to determine my capacity. I can take 6 one-on-one clients a week and three-month coaching clients at one time. That energetically keeps me within integrity. I love it. So we have to know our capacity. Shantali said, I have to stop over customizing and lying to myself saying I'm adding value. Yeah, cut it out. Because you're not adding value, you're robbing your bottom line. That's what you're doing, Shantali. So yeah, you're going to stop it. The more customization stuff you do, the less of a system you can have around it. So the less efficient you're going to be. So cut it out. Cut it out. All right. This was a great week. What we've been talking about is operational KPIs around your offer to optimize it to get you to your six-figure growth. Okay. And so what we've talked about are touch points and creating SOPs around them. We talked about the fulfillment time, the time it takes you to service a client and reducing that. We talked about knowing the cost of fulfilling your offer so that your pricing is actually giving you a profit margin and not keeping you at a deficit because you're not adding in or passing on the cost of other things that should be client paid. And then today we ended it all with our accumulation of using those things to track our capacity to actually grow our revenue. Okay, so does anybody have any questions, any value adds, or any aha moments from this entire week? Dr. Tachi, you are unmuted, but I don't know if that was from me having asked you a question.
Well, I forgot. I didn't even mute it back, but so hopefully nothing was going on in the background. But
It was not. That's how
yeah,
I didn't even know.
that's why I didn't know. Yeah, I think that this week was, well, the 2 days that I was here was excellent. Today was so needed because at first I was like, oh God, wait, math, what, huh? So, but it just after a while, it settles in you, and you're like, oh, okay, and you're able to think about it. So it was needed today to jog us into this state of thinking about these things because they're necessary. So thank you.
No problem. No problem. Dr. Ayana, you said when we would start talking numbers, that's when you that's when you it was cold blue for you. Why is that?
Damn, it was cold red, honey. She went out. It was emergency. Oh God, the fires went off, baby. When I started hearing all that was involved, and then I heard we was gonna have to respond. I said, "Oh Lord, get the code machine, honey. Bring her back. She just went out." Get the D field. Well, Tachi brought the D field in, so I'm back. But it was a fantastic, as Dr. Tachi has said, really, really needed. This turned the light bulbs on, and I joke around and what have you, but this is the kit and caboodle to your survival. This is going to be the crux, the foundation of whether or not you're wasting time, whether you are truly tracking towards your six figures, whether or not you're wasting your time even coming to class. Because if you're not tracking these KPIs, you're really out of gas. You're not in business.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And tracking your time and your energy, right? Like I'm about to add some more value to my membership, but I have to understand that I still only have so much capacity for that offer. So I have to stay within that capacity to keep that offer aligned with everything I need it to be. So these are things that we definitely have to think about because again, I want you to understand you're about to pass out, but we only talking about one offer and you got more than one offer. So you got to do this for each offer, right? So this is the thing that's gonna move us forward.
Deliver me, Jesus. Yeah, this challenge this challenged us, but in a very, very needed way. So thank you. Kudos to you. God bless you. We needed this.
Thank you. No problem. No problem. Dr. LaFera, I want you to come off the mic because I'm interested to hear, was any of this an aha moment for you? Because you've invested thousands of dollars into coaching and marketing and things like that. So you're no stranger to strategies, but this particular perspective to making sure that you hit your revenue goals, was there anything that was an aha moment for you? And Lord, is she even in the room? Is she gone somewhere else? There you
In
go.
the room, I was
Oh,
warming my
hey,
up.
we had to see.
Minister Farrakhan, don't you let her talk about you like that. I'm tired of talking
They
about these
always give me
guys.
a hard time. Um, yeah, everything you said was stuff we need to be doing and thinking about, especially if we're getting ready to make money, because uh, you don't know where you're going if you don't know where where you want to go, where you plan to go. I guess you'll go anywhere. So the best way to do that is to do all the stuff you're talking about, and money slips away really quickly. Especially when you don't have like investors and big budgets. So it's best to do all this stuff up front. Think about what you want to make and all that. And that's what I've been doing now that I've gotten like people actually interested, because I actually put it out there what I'm doing. And so I had to pull back and say, well, how much do I want to make off of this? Like, and how much are they, the ones that are contacting me, if I really want to get started, how much are they willing to pay? Or do I want to wait until I can attract those other people, which may mean more money I have to spend. So, yeah, everything you've been talking about like this weekend today, like that's all the stuff I've been working on for like the past, I guess, as far as the financial structure and all that stuff, heck, like past couple weeks, like, and so yeah, it's stuff you need to think about before you bring the person, before you bring anybody. All that stuff you need to have thought about, because otherwise they're driving you and you're not driving them.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for that input and that perspective. I love it.
You're welcome.
So today is going to be definitely one of those days that y'all need these show notes, because I gave you the 6 steps to track your to create to understand what your capacity is as a related to your forecasted revenue or your revenue goals. Also, you got 10 strategies to optimize your capacity. So there are only 2 ways that you can get these notes. And there is number one, are you a part of or inside of our free business mastermind group? If so, for a limited time, they will be in the files section. If not, you can get these notes and the entire morning show in your email inbox by going to shaycannon.com/show and signing up to receive it. What you'll get are 2 emails every broadcast day. One in the morning, reminding you to hop on the YouTube live. One in the afternoon with a link to the replay and a link to the show notes. Okay. So go to shaycannon.com/show and sign up. Today at 12 o'clock, if I can, this might be one of them collab lives I counsel. I don't know. But if I do, I'll let y'all know. But supposedly, and as scheduled today, we're supposed to have collab live at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I've been up since I feel like 12 p.m. yesterday, so I don't know if I'm make it. But I will let you guys know inside the group. But if I do make it, you got one job, and that is to show up with your collaboration. That is what you need and what you're willing to give in return. All right. So that is supposed to be today. I'll keep you posted because I can feel myself waning. Okay. Tomorrow, we are going to have our Get Shit Done work session tomorrow. It is usually only for our paid membership. However, 2 Fridays out of the month, we allow the free community to come in on the last half and get shit done with us. So all of those details are on the member dashboard for the paid membership and in the events in the featured tab in our free group. All right. If you need more information about me, your host, Shay Cannon, or how to be a part of our wholly valuable free business mastermind group, go to the bottom in the description if you will find a link and more information. All right. Now, today was an amazing episode. Let's get a thumbs up so you can like our episode, please. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and understand this was the last video in a 4-video series. So check out the other videos. All right. And with that, we'll see you on Monday morning and we'll see what we come up with that's going to be of value to your business. But until then, the studio is closing in 5, 4,